Yo, we in the building, Bear Jones 345, man. It is a Taco Tuesday, January 13th. We here. I specifically picked this day because of I wanted to wait until the wild card round of the playoffs was done. So that just finished last night. And we're going to go ahead and talk about those games. This podcast might be a couple minutes longer than the usual. So let's go ahead and get it started. Burp Jones 345. You can see all the social medias by now. You should know how to follow those. They're all the same, especially the YouTube and the TikTok up there. Please follow those. Those do good. Anyways, we're gonna run down. First, we got an NBA article here. Trae Young got traded to the Washington Wizards, as most of you know by now. This is a good trade for both sides. I know that I've seen some Wizard fans upset about getting rid of CJ McCollum, which is nothing to be upset about. CJ McCollum is older. He wasn't. He's not a part of a developing team. CJ McCollum needs to be a part of a team who's trying to win now. The Wizards are a team who's trying to win in the future. That should a team CJ McCollum should have never been on in the first place. Trae Young is still young. He's still the Wizards don't have an established point guard, a passing established point guard. Now they do when he's healthy. That's an ongoing issue with Trae is that he has trouble staying healthy. But when the man's healthy, he's one of the best passers in the league. He can shoot, and it's a good trade. They gave up C.J. McCollum and Corey Kispert. That's not gonna hurt the Washington Wizards. This is a very good trade for both sides. The Hawks can use both of these guys as wingmen to knock down threes off the bench. CJ can probably start a couple games. This is very good for both sides. No, normally you find a winner and a loser in a trade. This is an even trade. Neither team should be upset about what they received on this trade. I know everybody's probably anxious to see Trae actually play for Washington. Washington, their arrow's been pointing up. They've been okay. So we'll see. But I think that this trade is good for both sides, and that's all I really have to say about this. We're gonna start with the Rams game here. The Rams and the Panthers. This game was a lot closer and a lot more exciting. First, I want to say that I came on here and said that the Panthers have a strong chance of making the playoffs. Some people were like, "Yeah, right, the Bucks are gonna," and the Panthers made the playoffs. The we are not looking at the same Panthers. Somehow Bryce Young has developed correctly, and the Panthers are better this year. 8-10 isn't exactly a record, but they made the playoffs, and that is an arrow pointing upward, a step in the right direction. And they made the playoffs and played a competitive game. I mean, the Rams beat them by 3. The Rams were out there sweating. They made the Rams sweat for that win. So this is positive for the Nobody had the Panthers making the playoffs. So nobody had them making anything. This is positive. Even in losing, this is positive for Carolina. Nobody had them making anything. So this is even though they lost, this is a very gigantic step in the right direction for Carolina making the playoffs instead of Tampa, who everybody thought was going to make the playoffs. And competing, not just making it and getting blown out, but making it and competing. This will attract more people to play in Carolina. Um, we got Green Bay here and the Bears, and just what I want to say here is that this shows a gigantic leap in the right direction for Caleb Williams. Yeah, he threw 2 interceptions, but he managed the game and he won the game against Jordan Love, who threw 4 interceptions. Nobody thought the Bears were going to beat the Packers. Division rivalry, Packers the favorite. No one thought the Bears had a chance. Caleb Williams really ascended this season. He stepped above and beyond. The Bears are 12-6 right now. Just a really good season for Caleb Williams, and He still has some kinks to work out. Of course, he's not perfect. The guy can throw for tons of yards. He throws for yards and yards and yards. He's throwing for touchdowns. Maybe working the turnover some. He holds the ball too long sometimes. But his development is clearly headed in the right direction. And getting your first playoff win against the Packers is major. That is major. That's major, major. And I think the Bears are definitely um, headed to positive land. People are gonna want to come play with Caleb. He's young. They got a young good team. People are going they got Loveland. People are gonna want to come play for this team. Now that they see that this team is capable, they're going to be able to attract people, and that's been a problem with the Bears. Is they never could really have good attract anybody worth a damn. I think this is. I think with them making the playoffs, them beating the people are going to say, hey, I want to play with that. I want to play with them, and so this is bad news for the Packers. The Packers should not have lost this game. LaFleur is going to get his extension. The Packers are still a formidable team. Micah Parsons didn't play. He could have probably been a major difference on defense. There was no Micah Parsons, so a lot of different factors in that regard. But the Packers shouldn't have lost this game. The Bills Jags. The Jags almost had them. The Jags almost had this game. I had the Jags to win. They lost at the last second. You cannot doubt Josh Allen on a 2-minute drill. Last drive of the game, Josh Allen gonna score, and you just cannot. You have to stop him, and that's what the Jags couldn't do it, and they lost the game. But another team that's headed in the right direction is the Jags, just like the Bears, just like the Panthers. All these teams are headed in the right direction. Nobody had the Jags being this good. Nobody thought the Jags were going to go 13-5. I don't think anybody thought that. So it's surprising to see them play this well in the division where the Colts were in front. Half the season, and then here come the Jags, and then the Texans as well. This division got a lot more formidable in the past couple of past half of the season, back half of the season. But Josh Allen making a case for MVP again, winning this game. If he lost the game, he definitely wouldn't have made a case. But Josh Allen is still trying to make some case for MVP maybe by winning this game. I don't know. They're saying it's between Stafford and Drake May. So I doubt that Allen gets it again. But good come from behind victory from the Bills. I thought they were going to lose. I can't lie. I thought the Jags would keep it under control, and they didn't. 49ers Eagles. This is a testament to Jalen Hurts to me. I've been saying for years, Jalen Hurts cannot pass. And Jalen Hurts can't pass, man. And something has to be done after this season. I think they're stuck with Jalen Hurts. I don't think, they don't have any other options really. But Jalen Hurts can't throw. All these games with one TD and then he rushes for the other. It's not enough. And it wasn't enough against the 49ers and then won. Purdy threw 2 interceptions and still won because he threw 2 TDs. He's throwing 262 yards. He's moving the ball. Hurts has trouble moving the ball in the air. 168 yards. The guy has trouble hitting 200 yards every game. He's a QB who struggles to throw for 200 yards. And that's just not enough some games. You have to be able to move the ball. And he's not, and they're not moving the ball enough down the field, and therefore they're not getting enough scoring opportunities, and therefore they're losing. And that's what's happening. And they just lost to the 49ers in the first round, and I don't know. I wouldn't be. And then you had A.J. Brown arguing with the coach on the sidelines, Sirianni on the sidelines. Nothing good is happening with Philly right now, and I don't think it's going to turn out good. We'll see if somebody gets moved or somebody gets fired. We'll see. Patriots Chargers game was boring. I don't really have much to say about it. I will say that the Chargers, Justin Herbert and the Chargers need some offensive help. This offense is dead, and with all these receivers they have, you would think that this offense would have more firepower to it. With Keenan Allen and McConkey and all them. McConkey had a real regression over a year, but you would think that these receivers would have a lot more firepower. They have two damn running backs, and it's just not working. This team needs some offense. The defense plays well. Hell, they only allowed 16 points, but you can't win a game scoring 3 points. The offense needs something, or they're going to waste Justin Herbert, because that's what they're doing right now. They're wasting Justin Herbert, and they're going to waste Jim Harbaugh too, because he ain't, they're going to waste them both. So they need to get Herbert some help before he decides he don't want to be there no more, because the help he has right now is not enough. It ain't good enough. So we're going to, everybody knew the Patriots is going to win this game anyway. I don't think anybody really had the Chargers to win. The Patriots have been playing so well all season, 15-3, but this looked bad. On the Chargers end, this looked really bad. And that's all I got to say. They need some offense really bad. Keenan Allen probably ain't going to come back. He's old. So they're probably going to be down a receiver. They need some offense. Probably offensive line, too. The offensive line is extremely bad. This game last night went how I think most people thought it was going to go. The Texans and the Steelers. I didn't have Aaron Rodgers beating the Texans. The defense is too strong. They proved it. Held him to 6 points. Offense was good enough to score. That running back, Marks is good. Marks is a hell of a running back for the Texans. They got themselves a great running back in Marks. Aaron Rodgers, Steelers, you didn't have a QB. You desperately went out and got Aaron Rodgers. He got you to the playoffs. Not sure what else you were expecting to happen. That had to be the max of what you were expecting to happen. I know it's disappointing, but were you expecting Aaron Rodgers to take you on a deep playoff run? You could not have been expecting that. And so this is most likely Aaron Rodgers' last season. And the Steelers need to find a quarterback all over again, which I was saying they should have did last year. They neglected the QB position. They had Russell Wilson. They got rid of him. They had Fields. They got rid of him. And instead of trying to, and then they go and get Aaron. I don't think getting Aaron Rodgers was the right decision. Yeah, he made the playoffs for you, but I don't know you have no plan now. He's not coming back, so now you have no plan. I think the plan should have been to secure some kind of quarterback for the future or a draft pick for the future, something. I don't know, but I don't think Aaron Rodgers for 1 year was a good plan. And so I'm not surprised by this, and I don't know. And then the Steelers fans are telling Aaron Rodgers, are screaming at him at the end of the game, retire. He tried to retire, and y'all brought him back. The man probably wasn't going to play in the first place. Y'all begged this man to play. Let's get that into perspective. The Steelers begged Aaron Rodgers to come play because they didn't have nobody else. So yelling at him to retire, he will probably happily retire. Y'all are the ones who still need a quarterback. So that's that part. And that's all I have to say about that. Texans look good. That defense looks awesome. This podcast went super fast. I've been on point. I thought it was going to be like 20 minutes. It's 13 minutes. Super fast podcast. NFL coaching cares. All I gotta say is John Harbaugh is probably going to find another job really fast. Getting rid of Harbaugh was not a good idea for the Ravens. It's not Harbaugh's fault. I guess if they're saying he couldn't connect with Lamar, okay, well, whoever you bring in new ain't gonna connect with him either. You think he's gonna listen to the new guy? Bad decision by the Ravens. John Harbaugh's gonna have his pick of teams. The guy's a good coach, and he's going to have his pick of teams. It's not going to be him desperate. It's going to be teams desperate for him. Mike McDaniel, the Dolphins coach, ex-Dolphins coach, his situation, not so much. He's probably going to get offers from teams that are low on the low end, the Browns, things like that. Those are the offers that McDaniel's going to get. No good team is going to let McDaniel's coach. I'm thinking he's probably going to end up a coordinator, offensive coordinator, something like that. I don't think another team is going to give him a head coaching job. He did okay in Miami, but he only did okay with when the team was at super strength with Tyreek Hill, he did okay. Playoffs, no. Playoffs, he was terrible. And I just don't think another team's going to give him the reins to do that again. I think he might end up a coordinator or something like that. That's all I got for y'all. 15-minute podcast on a Taco Tuesday, man. Go get y'all some tacos today. And have y'all a good cold winter week. Happy New Year. This is the first podcast of the new year. And we will be back here in 2 weeks to cover the end, it won't be the end. It'll still be the middle of the playoffs, I think, because the Super Bowl's not till February. So that's it. But don't see 45. You see all the links, man. And here's the Buzzsprout in case you want the podcast and audio. Just go to this link right here. Get the whole thing in audio. We gone, man. I'm gonna get out of here.